Welcome back to the Pennsylvania 200. The cars are rolling once again. The safety crews have cleaned up turn number 2. And so we're about to go back to racing. Jeremy Clements out in front of the field. We just heard from his crew chief and father, who's mentioned
uncle,
and mentioned that I think we can make it.
He's going to get the attaboy from me if he makes it. I want to tell you right now, because I obviously told Wendy to tell him to stop. There's the 39 right there. Corey Ravenel making some repairs. He was involved in that accident. We caught a glimpse a moment ago of the onboard of Brian Silas, who has a good run going. 8th is his career best finish. He's running 7th right now. But
you may call that making repairs. I called it beating with a sledgehammer on that car.
Same thing. Same thing.
A lot of damage to the left rear of the 39 of Corey Ravenel. And again, they're prying away the sheet metal from the tire, trying to get back out on the racetrack in front of our race leader so they don't lose a lap.
There's Corey making his way back out on the racetrack.
Again, Clements in front of Dominic Casola, Josh Wise, Frank Kimmel, Aaron Crocker. There are top 5. When we restart this race, there we see Aaron Crocker in that white number 98.
Aaron's had a good steady run, other than that one problem she had, which must have been ignition, because we saw her back off and looked like she was going to head to pit road and looked like she got back up to speed, and now she's been running extremely competitively. Right there, currently being shown in the 5th position, trying to become the first woman ever to win an ARCA RE race, and I would not bet against her.
No, not at all.
There's a good shot at Brian Salas right there. He's running in the 6th position right now.
Patrick Shelton is actually 6th.
Well,
was 6th.
Was 6th. It looks like that he's on pit road right now. That's why he's not on the racetrack in 6th.
Right. Mark Mitchell will move up to the 7th position as we see Patrick Shelton moving into his pit stall. A few cars on their way down pit road. Josh Wise in that Napa Toyota Camry.
There's Mark Mitchell, the Aragon Chevrolet right there. He's got a good run going. He's up in the 7th position. He was a 2nd place finisher this year earlier at Daytona for his career best. You can see it right there.
Right behind him in that number 16, Justin Allgaier. Haven't heard a lot from Justin Allgaier in the 2007 season. Currently in the 8th spot here, though. Justin got a win back in 2006. Jim, what's he talking about here today?
Well, I just checked with his crew chief, Larry Moore, the short track ace out of Indiana, and they talked about the last adjustment they made is what they're happy with. They raised the track bar and changed the tire pressure just a little bit. They're one of the teams that did not mess too much with the air pressures. So Justin Allgaier, hopefully, again, a great point today, looking at the overall picture of full-time teams and the NASCAR teams interloping into this series this season. So, again, a top 10 run would be great for Justin, who told me before the race, we're eyeing a top 3 run to the championship. He doesn't think that he'll have enough to contend, but a top 3 is their goal now. And finishing races, he said, is what matters most.
Right behind him, speaking of top 3s, the 50 of A.J. Hendrickson, his career best came at this racetrack. Or actually, his best finish came in 2004 at this racetrack, and it was 3rd.
He finished 2nd at Charlotte back in 2003 in his very first career start, but he's doing a great job at Bobby Jones's number 50 right there, the ECC car. And Bobby told me in the garage area this morning that they plan on running the majority of the races the rest of the year, so it'll be good to see Bobby Jones back at the racetrack full-time with A.J. Hendrickson.
Some of the cars coming on to pit road. Patrick Shelton, one of those cars we had talked about. He is scored currently in the 10th position, but that was when they went by the start-finish line. He was on pit road when they went by the start-finish line, so he will be back in the field when they come by the start-finish line this time. The lights will probably go out of the pace car.
It looks like we're going to get one to go.
They will be completing lap 59. Rob Bunker's going to take the number 4 onto pit road now. He was scored in the 11th spot.
Yeah, Rob was having a good run. You see, obviously, he probably had a little bit of piece of that accident over there in the tunnel turn, and they're going to make some repairs to the right side of that car. Kerry Shear, the Cunningham Motorsports team. Mark Gibson, team manager there. There's the 79. Mike Cook. best finish of the year, 22nd back at Toledo.
A little bit more sledgehammer work.
Yeah, they did not get one to go, by the way, so I'm sure the ARCA RE/MAX officials think they need a little more cleanup over there and need the cars to run through that tunnel turn one more time to get the speedy dry distributed off the racing line.
That was Rob Bunker's car that they were pounding on the wheel well to get a little clearance there from the tire. Again, out in front of the field, the 3 of Jeremy Clements. He's loving these yellow flag laps right now, saving fuel. Welcome back to Pennsylvania for the Pennsylvania 200. Jeremy Clements still holding on to the lead role here in this soap opera that's taken place at Pocono. 7 cautions came out. We've had a red flag condition that we're just coming off of now. See James Harvey Hilton making his way up to the inside of Jeremy Clements. Sunday grassroots racing will never be the same. 1 hour, 2 new shows. Should speed pick up these pilots or take them off the air? It's launch hour, Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed. Jim, Patrick Shelter, what's going on?
Well, guys, on our last green flag restart, he was in 2nd spot in that beautiful green number 60, and as he came up the front stretch, he lost the transmission. He jammed it into 3rd gear. That's what caused the hiccup on the front stretch. He now came down pit road 2 times. First time to get it out of 3rd gear, but he lost 1st and 2nd. So they only have 3rd and 4th gear, and they came back in again to change right side tires. So Shelter trying to hang on to what's left of his transmission here in the final 20 laps.
That'll hurt him a little bit on the restart. It will not hurt him racing under race conditions, but will hurt him a little bit on the restart. But he's going to be starting pretty far back now. I can see him laying back right now to try to get going before the rest of the field and try to make up some of that difference. But meanwhile, Jeremy Clements is trying to stretch that fuel mileage.
Jeremy Clements, Dominic Casola, Josh Wise, Kimmel, and Aaron Crocker, your top 5. Green flag back out in Pocono.
Got cars all over the racetrack.
Well, Tim Mitchell in that 06 was trying to avoid the 71 of Ted Olszewski. Speaking of Olszewski, only 2 vowels in that guy's name. One at the beginning and one at the end.
That's one of those bi-vowel things.
Yeah.
Brian Silas right there, the North Tracks Shell Rotella Ford. Brian's being shown in the 6th position. That's Aaron Crocker right in front of him. There's Michael McDowell on the inside, 3 wide.
Justin Allgaier in the 16 drops back a spot. A.J. Henriksen in the 50 on the outside. Michael McDowell hungry for another win in the ARCA RE/MAX series.
We saw Michael McDowell back off going in the tunnel turn. Did not make it side by side. As we see Aaron Crocker moving up.
Crocker will take away the position from Dominic Casola, so she moves into the 3rd spot.
She got by the 46 of Frank Kimmel and the 1 of Dominic Casola. Ooh, Frank got real wide coming off the corner. Going to allow the 93 of Mark Mitchell to get by him, and here comes Brian Silas on the inside.
Michael McDowell scored in the 8th spot now. We've closed in on 18 laps of racing remaining. Get out in front. It's Jeremy Clements, Josh Wise, Aaron Crocker, Dominic Casola, and Mark Mitchell, your top 5.
There's Michael McDowell, the number 2 car, taking another spot right there on Brian Silas. If he can beat him down into the tunnel turn here. Here, Brian hit his rev limiter as he gets to the tunnel turn.
Brian has to stay out and into the wall. Brian Silas goes. We were riding along with him. He couldn't get to the inside of the racetrack, and he goes into the wall in turn number 2.
The caution flag will have to come out here. It is not out yet, but it will come out here. Brian Silas is not going to be able to get off that outside wall. That's definitely going to help Jeremy Clements in that 3 car.
So the caution does come out now as the field will begin to slow down through turn number 1. And this, Phil, here's a situation where we're riding along with him. He was high going into that tunnel turn. I mean, that was out of the groove. It looks like he just slid right up into the corner.
It looked like he was a little bit too wide. He was giving Michael McDowell plenty of room on the inside. It looked like he got his right side tires in the speedy dry. You see him right there. He's just a little bit too wide.
He's turning hard there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that maybe he didn't have a tire go down or something like that, because I did not see his front wheels turn like they would have trying to get turned.
Well, at the end, and we'll ride along and listen here, folks. That looked like a helpless feeling.
Yeah, sure was. Looked like the car went pretty hard, pretty straight into the outside wall there in the tunnel turn.
When we had the other shot of that with him about to the wall, his left front tire was turned hard, almost sideways, and he was still going straight. Take another look at this, Phil.
Yeah, you see the number 2 of Michael McDowell on the inside. Brian's on the outside. This is typically a single file corner. You see Michael move down to the inside. Brian just never, you do see the left front tire turned extremely hard. Now, I don't know if that's because he may have cut a tire down or you got the right sides up in the loose stuff where you get no grip and this car is going to go straight anyway, and then you're going to try to turn, do all you can do. But whatever the case may be, had a great run going, had a good top 10.
Sure did. Strong
run, looked like, and unfortunately is going to end prematurely.
So the 8th caution of the day has come out here at Pocono, and this time it was Brian Silas that brought it out on lap 63. 17 laps of racing remaining, and this is exactly what Jeremy Clements needs, more caution flag laps. If he's going to make it the 54 laps that his crew chief and uncle say he's going to be able to make it, they're going to need some more of these type of laps right here.
Yeah, every one of these laps is going to help right here. And Glenn's going to get an attaboy from me if he's able to pull this off and then run 54 laps or 135 miles, Wendy.
Hey, I want to show you the piece of paper here in the 3-pit of Jeremy Clements. Of course, Glenn Clements, his uncle. This is how simplistic it is here in the 3-pit stall. We have C's for caution, X for green flag laps. Hey, it doesn't take a calculator or much, but this is how they're calculating Jeremy Clements can do it on one stop here at Pocono.
It will be a great strategy. Again, he's going to have to get 6.5 to 7 miles to the gallon to be able to run 135 miles on 22 gallons. But we know he's running around there now at 50 or 55 miles an hour, maybe 60 tops, and we know he's going to get great fuel mileage during these caution laps. So I went on record saying there was absolutely no way he could do it. So if he does, good for them.
That would be impressive. Pit road is open. That's why the green flag is being waved there at the entrance to pit road.
I don't think we're going to see Jeremy Clements come down pit road. And
he's
that's
decided he can.
That's one of the advantages to not running a full schedule. If he was in a situation where he's racing for points he probably doesn't take this gamble. He's not. When they come to the racetrack, they're coming to get great top 5 finishes and try to get a win. They haven't got any wins yet, so it's not a bad call for him, especially now. Now he can't stop unless he runs out of gas because he's already made his bet.
Only 7 races as Jeremy Clements run in the 2007 season. He started the season off with a 3rd at Daytona. That was his best so far of this season. His career best came back here a year ago when he finished 2nd in this race. But he has had a 4th and a 5th and a 7th place finish the last 3 races he's been in. 4th most recently here at Pocono.
Always runs well. Whenever they show up with this 3 car, they always run well. And it would be amazing for them to pull this off. And I don't know how Glenn was. I guess he saw how the first 26 laps went, because that's when they pit. On my record's lap 26. He said, well, we've had this many caution flags in this many laps. Why would we think there's not going to be a lot of cautions in the remaining laps, and maybe we can pull this thing off? But he's going to have some awfully good cars to contend with. He's got Josh Wise right now running 2nd. Aaron Crocker has had another strong run. She's running 3rd. Mark Mitchell 4th. Frank's in 5th. And Michael McDowell is coming. He's in 7th.
While they make another lap under caution, we're going to skip away for a commercial break. So stay with us here on Speed. We're at Pocono for the Pennsylvania 200.